Welcome to Overnight Success, the podcast where we celebrate the incredible journeys of entrepreneurs and visionaries. While there's no such thing as true overnight success, hearing their stories of determination, persistence, and resilience can inspire us all. Presented by Draper University and hosted by Joannou.
I want to quickly mention that none of this is investment advice or financial advice, trading advice, or any sort of advice. And we do not recommend any cryptocurrency or investing in any projects. We're just showcasing the stories of founders. Welcome back to Overnight Success. Today we're taking a deep dive into one of the most dynamic and influential Web3 markets in the world, Korea. Our guide is Ryan Kim, founding partner at Hashed, globally recognized venture firm at the forefront of Asia's blockchain ecosystem. From his early days in crypto to building Hashed into a powerhouse that backs visionary founders, Ryan offers unparalleled insights into the cultural and technical evolution of Korean Web3. Get ready to understand the nuances of this critical market and the opportunities it holds with the expert himself, Ryan Kim. Hey Ryan, welcome to the show. How you doing, my friend?
Thank you. How's everything?
Very good, very good. Very excited to have you and to share the story of Hash, an incredible journey and one of the leading VCs and big supporters of the ecosystem. I was in Korea not that long ago and you're everywhere. Can I just go back a little bit? I'd like to just go back, give the audience a little bit of a context as to who I'm speaking with, right? So maybe if you could start with a little bit around your education and how you started your career.
Okay. I studied double E. Actually, before talking about the major, no, I was mathematics gold medal Olympiad medalist.
Wow.
Actually, I studied mathematics a lot. Actually, my specialty is only mathematics. Other than that, I was very poor. So I only focused on the mathematics. And I felt like mathematics is very bored sometimes because I want to interact people every time. And I had a lot of friends. I always hang out with my friends. So someday I want to do a business, not just academic, like a researcher. And after graduated my university, I went to semiconductor company. So I delivered radio frequency chip to many different smartphone manufacturers. So I made the 2G phone, 2G RF chip, and 4G RF chip. And my last project was an LT chip, and that chip integrated to Samsung Galaxy S3. And Samsung Galaxy S3 was the first LT phone in the world. And then I just realized, oh, this is very boring. So I wanted to move out this industry because this is a B2B. It's actually same as like a lab activities. I want to do my own business. So 2012, I started my own business. There was a mobile app solution for e-commerces. It's mobile, so Shopify. So I delivered more than 150 shopping mall at the time. And then I sold my company to big data company, which is making a personalization algorithm and recommendation algorithm for big e-commerces. I worked there for 3 years as data scientist, and I delivered this algorithm for big tech giants. And at the time, big data and deep learning and also AI, that was one of the trends. And I thought all the data belongs to big tech giants. That means data scientists have to work only for big tech giants. I feel a little bit boring because I felt like a data scientist is a very innovative job, but eventually just they have to work for Big Brother. But blockchain space was different. My co-founder Simon recommended me to invest at ETH. I invested to ETH back to 2015. No, within 1 week, ETH price dropped like 30%. So at the time, I regretted. I realized blockchain space is open innovation environment. And also because all data is open and everybody can utilize that data to make an innovative product. So I feel data scientists is heaven for data scientists. So I jumped into blockchain space around after investing to ETH. And after that, 2017, we co-invested with our co-founders, co-invested to ETH and ICO, many type of ICOs. And then boom, the market exploded. So that's how we started Hash. And we gathered a lot of like high profile people and we educate them, we evangelize the blockchain concept and why blockchain can change the world. Yeah, that was a kind of starting point of the Hash.
Amazing. And then so just Simon, and so obviously your first investment in ETH was like a realization. You knew about the shortcomings of data with Big Brother and all that as mentioned. And then were you just hooked? Was it all just blockchain from there?
Yeah, I feel the blockchain is the answer for my questions at the time. I'm a startup guy, and actually AI is all led by at the time like Google, Microsoft, and all the big tech companies who hold all data. But the startup or a data scientist, they cannot do anything in this trend. But blockchain is like a very small handful of projects also can change a lot and can impact a lot to the market. So yeah, I think this is one of the takeaway at the time again.
Amazing. And then so Hash, you form Hash together. Like you mentioned that you're educating people, you're evangelizing. When I was there and I met with your team, it was very clear that you guys were very kind of community driven, wanted to empower the ecosystem. Where did that kind of come from?
Actually, the block at the time we are just now one of the investor. We studied blockchain a lot, and actually the blockchain space was very minor industry. So we need to gather the people and we need to discuss what's right and what's wrong. We have to discuss about this trend will be major or not. And for that, we need to gather the very well educated people, especially in Web2. And we want to resonate with others because Ethereum, all the Web2 people and all the conglomerates, they ignored this trend. They undervalued this trend. So somehow we need to justify ourselves, and also we have to justify others as well. So that's why we gathered all the high-profile people, and somehow the data, all the actually the blockchain, as you can see, all information is shared in Twitter and blog, and even the code is all open. So even just normal developer who's not working in blockchain company, they can see all the code. That's why I think it's very easy to access the information. So that means even though we bring the conglomerates, venture capitalists or developers out there, we can study all together. So I think the subject wise, it was a little bit easy to understand for them to make a community.
Got it. And given like it was so early and you guys were pioneers in the space, right? I imagine it couldn't have been super easy for you guys to raise the first fund and stuff. Can you talk a little bit about putting that together and getting, I guess, what would somewhat be conservative partners and educating them on blockchain and the future and all that, and then putting that together with the fund?
Oh yeah, actually at the beginning we started our own fund about 600K. Just six founders. We invest together. Of course, no, we invited some of our very close friends, and in total like 12 people. Out of 12 people, there were some. There were one founder, an exchange CEO, and new startup co-founders. We co-invest all together with making a syndicate. That's how we started. We didn't raise from outside money because our prop fund size grew really fast. So we
Right.
believe to invest more freely, we think just investing with a prop capital was more beneficial and more advantageous. But in bear market, we realize, oh, maybe we need to raise LP fund from the companies which believe us, because we don't want to sell. We don't know much about sell at the high, buy at the bottom, because we are venture capital guy. So we are always like a long only, hold
Yep.
long. And the HODL,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
keyword, right? So we are always resonate the community, like don't sell. If you don't sell, you lose.
Yep.
And all the big story about Bitcoin is like holding forever. So we hold for a long time. That means like our asset size was like, when at the top, it grew quickly, but when the top market was downtrend, then our asset size decreased very quickly.
Yep. Yep.
So, and in the bear market, we didn't want to sell our token and everything. We believed maybe we need to raise a fund from outside, and we need the fresh money. And as a fund, we need to be very steady to invest. So every year we have to invest regularly. Then that's how we can keep our brand and how we can attract the founders continuously.
Yeah.
So that's
That's
how, yeah.
sorry. Yeah, that was like a
Sorry.
very cool. It makes sense. And that was my next question, actually, anyways. Obviously, you did build a brand. People start coming to you, incredible founders. Your portfolio is insane, right? So I'm just wondering, like, when does it catch on where people are like, oh, yeah, you got to talk to Hashed? Is that after like the dip and then back up again and people start coming to Hashed again? Or was it just like you guys making so much noise? How did that all happen?
Basically, we're based in Korea. I think Korean market situation was also one of the reasons we got a good brand. Because as I mentioned, 2017 was a quite crazy year for Korean market, especially. At the time, there's a Kimchi Premium. That means like Korean local BTC and our coin price was like high, 50% to 100% higher than global price. So that means there's huge premium in Korea. The reason why the Kimchi Premium exists is actually Korean government is controlling money inflow and outflow of foreign currency. For example, like to transfer USD to outside of Korea, we need quite complicated approval process.
Got it.
Once the Korean market was very hot, the Korean retail buy a lot of BTC with KRW, and still global market was not there to make this price fit. There need to be arbitrage trading, but because FX was not easy between KRW to USD, that's why there's an inequality between the Korean BTC price and global BTC price. And that signal all the global projects founders and also global funds to attract a Korean market. Everybody came to Seoul and they pitched to the Korean community. And we were positioned as a kind of bridge between Korea and outside of Korea. Because before we came out, most of the community was quite literally community driven, but audience was very retail focused, not founder, not developer, not venture capital focused. But after we hosted our events, they realized, oh, community quality was really good, and the question quality was good. And eventually, after that event, this project became core project in Korean market. So that's how we got the brand. That global project came to us because they want to get more presence in Korean market. Also, vice versa, many Korean companies want to get more context about global market. So they came to us to expose to the network there. And sometimes they need advice about Korean market and also vice versa, global market. We are like translator for information, like crypto information to both sides, Korean community and global community. That was a starting point, but we successfully extended our businesses and network to US side and China and Southeast Asia and India, the main markets which retail market exists, and at the same time, founders community exists. So now we are like experiencing all the significant markets.
Got it. Got it. And then can I talk, and I do want to talk about the bear market stuff too, because I imagine it must be pulling your hair out at some point. But I wanted to talk about the ecosystem team and the team I met when they helped organize this meeting as well, where I think it's quite unique for a venture capital firm to have this team that is there to help with sales and marketing and awareness and the fundraising, whatever. Can you just talk a little bit about you setting up that team to help founders when they come to you?
We help all-in-one, one-stop shop helper. We're from the startup. We're from entrepreneurship. We know how difficult the founder is doing now. We always try to understand from founder's perspective, and we know always like HR, marketing, GTM, and like a business relationship and everything. At the beginning, we started from like community. That means marketing perspective. So we introduced the project to the retail, more like a high profile people. Then high profile people spread the information out to their network. And part of the high profile people are KOL, it's like influencer in their network. That was one of the perspective. And also every year we host the biggest event in Korea named the KBW, Korean Blockchain Week. And with that event, we gather all the conglomerates, chairman, and also blockchain team in each companies and like ecosystem builder, player, and developers. And we like make a kind of big events for introducing each other. So that is one of the points. And second point is HR. So they want to find out the good talents in Korean market. Then we purge some of the talented people to become, for example, like a general manager of Korean market. Or now we are running protocol camp, which is boot camp for Web3 talents. Mm-hmm. So every quarter is quite similar to Draper University, but like we gather 10 to 15 people every quarter, and we educate them with certificated lecture, the founder of our portfolio companies, or like a core developer of Ethereum Foundation, and some like project managers in my team. So they go and they educate the people. And those 10 to 15 people are like from Web2, originally from a developer or designer, project manager, etc. But they willing to move their job to Web3. So they participate and they stay in the same building and for three months, and they do project together. For example, making wallet together or DeFi project together. And after that experience, they go out. But most of them are hired by Web3 companies. So that's one of our first initiative we have. So we have HR, and also the most important part is this relationship. Korea, the unique point of Korea is so many companies that are very interested in crypto. So far, if you think about the US and China, still big tech companies are hesitate or government is too conservative. The Korean market is like a little bit small compared to those markets, but they have to survive. in global competition. Of course, they want to prevent the fraud and scam from crypto. There's a lot of exploits and hack, but at the same time, they know blockchain is a future technology, and kind of we have to go in first, then we can get more benefit. Everybody knows, especially the big tech giants like Kakao, Naver, they moved in crypto space very early, 2018, 19. Also 2020 to 2021, when the P2E era came, many game publishers and game studios came into this market. So Nexon, the first game company in Korea, they're also building on top of Polygon now. And they jumped into crypto like 3 years ago, and come to us and Purvis, etc. All the gaming company, they're jumping in crypto. So that means they need a lot of partners, and they need a lot of startups or L1, L2 or infrastructure. So we're always helping out to arrange the meetings and building a partnership between a Web2 established company and Web3 startups, and make a synergy between them.
Very cool. Yeah, it is quite different, right? It is quite specialized. So that's amazing. That was Protocol Camp for anyone listening there. And then the bear market, right? You've obviously been through this stuff a bit more. Obviously, it's looking a bit better the last couple of weeks, looking good. I think Tim Draper would be particularly happy. But how do you keep that motivation, right? Like, how do you keep that motivation with the investors and the startups? How do you just see the signals and go, time to knuckle down to build, guys? How do you keep that motivation with founders and the investors when you know it's going to be, this one's been particularly long, but how do you keep the momentum at Hashed?
So I think the blockchain space, the industry is like very similar to a religion. If you think about it, Bitcoin maximalists, they believe Bitcoin only, not even Ethereum. And there's a Ethereum maximalist, and like because this is all about community driven, and they're autonomous machine. They don't die forever. I think depending on the number of a community or the volume of the community, it decides the how big volume they can make in that specific blockchain technology. With that sense, I think we started from ETH investment. My first investment was ETH, and my co-founders also ETH. So basically, we believe it's not going to die. So there's uptrend, there's downtrend, of course, but if we stick forever, then we know it's going up. So it's a matter of time. So just in the bear market, we have to endure that time. And last bear market was quite painful, actually. It's at the time we discussed about how we can survive in bear market, because at the time we learn only with our own prop capital. Liquidity was quite minimal. We need to run our operation, and actually with very limited budget, we invested very small amount to startups at the time. In 2019, our budget was very small, but we thought we need to keep investments. We researched a lot, and gaming sector was coming up. Gaming sector was picking up. That means even though there was a crypto winter in 2019, people were using crypto wallet and crypto game. At the time, the crypto gamble was a starting point, but many gaming projects coming out. We invested 8 projects, and at the time we invested first check to XMPT and Sandbox, Mythical Games. So it was a quite high hit ratio. So out of 8, so we invested like 3, 4 very successful projects. And of course, no, because of market condition, the valuation was very low. We got so many benefit from that deal. So yeah, I think the bear market is always very painful, but at the same time, it's a huge opportunity because first of all, many projects die and very genuine and very strong business model driven company can only survive.
Yeah.
And when the bull market come, they will get picked by the investors. And the token price or like business, the market share, whatever, they go really fast when bull market came again. So I believe, and also like in bear market, talents move a lot. If now it's not just a Web3 bear market, Web2 bear market as well. That
Yeah.
means a lot of talents will come out from Web2 companies and at a low price, low cost. So some of them will start their own business into Web3, and some of them will be hired by Web3 companies. So I think there's a really good transition period for Web3 because now a lot of talents are moving, especially if you see the developers activities or open source project activities, still the activities are growing. So we can see maybe next bull run, more talented founder, more talented developers will be a core low for next bull run.
Amazing. Thank you very much for your time, Ryan. I really appreciate it. And yeah, hope to meet you next time in Seoul. And yeah, best of continued luck with Hash. Cheers, mate.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for listening to Overnight Success. We hope you enjoyed hearing from our guests and learning about their inspiring journeys. If you found this episode helpful, please subscribe and share it with your friends. And remember, with hard work and dedication, anything is possible.